South Carolina's budget is almost finalized, including raises for teachers, law enforcement, and state employees.
But not everyone in the Republican-controlled legislature is happy with the plan. South Carolina Bureau Chief Shakira Speaks joining us here in the studio to explain why.
Yeah, Alicia, Brian, last week the South Carolina House gave key approval to the state's multi-billion-dollar spending plan. And while the votes have been in, some lawmakers are still debating. And the main question they're asking is how should they spend billions of dollars of taxpayer money effectively? A $13.8 billion budget, and the South Carolina House only plans to spend $13.2 billion of that. While it overwhelmingly passed 104 to 15 in the state House, it's mainly members of the ultra-conservative Freedom Caucus who weren't happy with all of the contents.
It's still growing government. If you're looking at recurring dollars to recurring dollars, like this year to last year, it's like a 10% increase what we're spending.
Low Country Representative Jordan Pace was one of the 15 lawmakers who voted against the proposed budget. Pace says House leaders opted to maintain taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood. They also backed transferring South Carolina health agencies to a privately owned building with a $325 million triple net lease.
The triple net lease means the tenant, as in the taxpayers in this case, is responsible for the maintenance, the taxes, and the insurance on the building. So not only would the taxpayers be footing a $352 million lease bill, they'd also be responsible for all the maintenance for any issue under $100,000, which is essentially all of them.
The proposed budget will benefit homeowners, teachers, and anyone who drives on the state's roads and bridges. $200 million will replace bridges, many of which are at least 60 years old. $600 million is aimed at increasing teachers' salaries.
This budget is over $700 million less than last year. So I feel like it's being a fiscal conservative budget so far.
York County Representative Brandon Guffey says this plan is everything the governor laid out in his agenda. The proposed bill doesn't specifically send money to York, Lancaster, Chester, or Chesterfield counties, but Guffey says it does add more mental health services throughout the state.
The other problems that we are facing throughout the state, and especially in the Rock Hill area with homelessness and overpopulation of jails, mental health is a direct cause of that.
So Guffey tells me lawmakers added in an additional $100 million is going back directly to taxpayers. He says it's part of the tax breaks that the House approved that is being sent back out to every single citizen in the state.